family wrestling entertainment, by its very nature, brings about like more of a family-oriented programming and shows that we provide. We mostly run in New York City. We bring a lot of the biggest names out there that are not contracted by World Wrestling Entertainment or TNA, and including Carlito, Maria Kanellis, Tommy Dreamer. We like to think that we're an overall product, meaning that we don't just cater to one style, one specific audience. Unless some companies do that, we're kind of we like to cover all our bases. So that's in general, what we're about. We're entertainment. You'll have the athleticism, of the Japanese wrestling styles. You'll have, a lot of the comedy, such as like Colt Cabana, excellent example right there, and a lot of great young talent. I truly believe that our undercard is one of the best out there.
Now talk about you're the VP of Talent Relations, so just give the fans a little bit of a highlight of who are some of the names that they should watch for.
You know what, I'm going to go back to where I think this business really needs to kind of cultivate the talent. It's the younger guys. I mean, then you need the name value. You need the Tommy Dreamers. You need the Carlitos, the Jay Lethals, all those guys that are, the fans already know. But I also believe guys like Jorge Santi, Joey Ace, Funky Fresh Boys, you got the EJ Risk, VSK, the Midnight Sensations, all these guys that you don't necessarily know now, but you will throughout watching our program, throughout watching our DVDs, and following us online. If you look at us, even if you look at the DVD from the very beginning, you look at how I would say amateurish it looked, even though you had good name value. You had Eric Young, Charlie Haas, Chad Gaspard. You had a couple of, good all-around names. I don't think the product, if you look at it now, tenfold, it's gotten phenomenal. From the production end, from the name value, from the actual in-ring stuff that you're going to see, it's gotten so much better. As a wrestler, I think the hardest part is being able to manage both. When you do, the back-end stuff, making sure that things are done on a timely fashion, making sure that people get there when they're supposed to get there, and that the matches, go out and do their thing. You got to motivate these guys to go out there and bust their backside to make sure that they put on the best show. The people are paying top dollar to watch these guys. So I always felt, me as a wrestler, I have to go out there and give them their all. And me as VP, as a top end of the spectrum, of the other spectrum, you got to motivate these guys to really go out there and give them the best show possible.
Now this will be the first time for the company going outside, doing a show outside of New York. Going to be making the Long Island debut. Talk a little bit about the 10th show of FWE at Carle Place.
A lot of people look at it, okay, it's a 10th show. It's not like it's Raw coming up with the 1,000th show, and that's fair enough. But in this environment that we're in today, where there's a lot of competition, where there's the WWE, there's TNA, there's Ring of Honor, and there's every other company in between, a 10th show is a big deal. Especially considering that we were consistently and are consistently run in Manhattan, it's unheard of. I think that we have consistently put on some of the better shows out there. We're going to continue to get better. It's going to continue to get bigger. And ultimately, we're in a new market. Our expectation is that we're going to go out there and really work to get the place filled up, and more importantly, to give those people out there in Long Island a bigger reason to come back and watch our product. It really is a great product. It's not me just saying it. I've been around. I've wrestled in West Virginia. I wrestled in farms in front of 10 people in Ohio. I've wrestled in front of 500 people in festivals in Long Island as well. And a couple thousand in the Elks Lodge. So I've been all over the place, and I can tell you what's good and what's not. This is a great show, and come July 28th, we're gonna set that building on fire, literally.
And I was about to say, maybe you could give your perspective of what makes FWE special and what makes it good.
I think what makes the brand special is that, what I said before, I think what you're going to find is a little bit of everything. You're going to find, good comedic stuff from guys like Colt Cabana, who is very entertaining. He's an entertaining guy. He knows how to wrestle, of course, but very entertaining, can get those fans going. You got the younger guys like Matt Taven. Again, Matt Taven just got signed to the WWE, so, we must be doing something right. not saying that we were the end all be all as to the reason he got signed, but we know talent. We can see a guy like that and can tell he's a really good guy to have on the roster. You got the high flying, insane high flying of Wes Draven, a guy like that can do some incredible stuff in the ring. If you've never seen him before, July 28th, please, I implore you, come to the show. Him versus Matt Taven. What probably will be Matt Taven's last independent date, I would assume. It's going to be incredible. I mean, if you've never seen Wes Draven or Matt Taven before, you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise. You got the guys like the Midnight Sensations. Those guys, very colorful, very, outspoken. VSK and EJ Risk, very athletic. And then you got the guys like the Carlitos. I mean, Carlito, in any which form you slice it, is going to be controversial. He's going to be entertaining, and he's going to go out there and he's going to put it all out there. I think a lot of guys do it to show the younger guys, well, I haven't lost a step. So I think the younger guys keep the name guys in check when it comes to like going out there and giving their all. But ultimately, I think, the fact that you have the women as well, the women don't necessarily get, if you look at WWE and TNA in a sense, they don't necessarily get as much out of their matches, out of what they're doing, comparatively. And it's not on them. It's what their company, that's their thing, that's their company. Here in FWE, what we do is we go out our way to make sure that the women get, out there, that they're notice not so much, obviously, they're beautiful women, of course, but we also want to let you fans know that they're athletic as well and that they're very good at doing what they do.
Now talk a little bit about the women's division. I mean, there are some really impressive names in the women's division, but maybe for the fans at home who may not know, just list off some names that are with the FWE brand.
I think the one thing about the women's division is that that they've happened to hold a high regard. A year ago, we didn't have our first show. We didn't have a women's match. There was no. Not that we have an idea. I think we also didn't really believe at that point that it was needed. However, our second show over in May 2011, we incorporated our first women's match, which was Winter versus Rosita, two women, from TNA, and we saw that it got a reaction. Since then we've had everyone from Madison Rain to Melina Perez to Maria Canales, of course, Winter, who's our current champion. We've incorporated them into our company. Of course, we could forget No Limits, best crowd we've had. Over 400 people turned out to see the women's tournament, which had Maria Canales, Miss Brooke Tessmacher, current TNA champion, Tara, who is incredible in every which way, Winter, of course, and it speaks for itself. They go out there and they put on a great show, and they show you they're more about substance and instead of the actual look, which is important.
Now I understand that the proceeds for the July 28th event will be going to multiple sclerosis research. How special is that for you to be able to build that relationship and just talk to the fans at home a little bit about being able to do that?
Absolutely. We got in touch. Well, actually, Nick Pappas, who is actually the one helping us run this show, he had gotten in touch with a couple of companies out there in Long Island. For whatever reason, they weren't able to get an agreement or meet each other's needs. So Nick had heard about us, and so he contacted us. And it's for the Myelin Foundation. They do great work in terms of looking up, researching cures for multiple sclerosis. In the past, I've had friends who've been diagnosed with it. It is a very serious condition, and ultimately, I think me as a person, not just take away from the business end, take away from the wrestling. I truly believe that this is an important thing. Anytime you can put, whether it's your time, money, or effort into something that is important as finding a cure or finding some sort of research that's going to help these people, that's important, and that just speaks volumes, because that to me is ultimately the goal. Helping others, there's nothing better than that. Like you can take away the fact that we're going out there and we're going to put on a great show, which speaks for itself. But I think the biggest thing is that we're also able to help other people. That's you can't put a price on that. July 28th, 168 Cherry Lane. We're going to be there on July 28th, 7:30 bell time. I implore you. Look, I'm not telling you because, again, I work for the company. If I were to work out of the company and look in and see what they were doing, I can tell you that FWE runs one of the most professional, one of the best shows you're going to get your money for. I absolutely, in my bottom of my heart, believe it. I think, you see the card, you see Carlito, Brian Kendrick, who just came back from Japan, Tommy Dreamer, Jay Lethal. You see it a first time ever, all four of these guys competing for one title. Yeah, that's enough, to really, make you want to come to a show. If that doesn't make you want to come to a show, you're going to get the Midnight Sensations versus VSK and EJ Risk. All these guys well known throughout the independents. They are going to go out of their way to give you the most bang for your buck. I truly believe it. On top of that, you're going to get Maria Kanellis versus Winter. These two have been going at it for months on end. We will finally see these two go at it one-on-one. No tag match, no outside interference. These two are going to go at it. Damian Darling will be competing against Azrael, one of the better-known guys out there. These two are going to tear it down. I can guarantee you out there. Folks, you got Mr. Spectacular, Jesse Goddard. If you've seen CBS recently, he was just on. You can't forget about Jesse Goddard. I'm sure he won't let you forget. Against Julio De Niro, making his debut. Folks, go out there, get your tickets. It's for a great cause. It's for an incredible cause. The Myelin Research Foundation for Multiple Sclerosis. July 28th. Check FWEWrestling.com for more information and how to get your tickets.
I also understand that there's going to be a bus available too, which is sensational for the fans that can't drive. So.
Absolutely. We have a bus available for you fans out there, you loyal fans out there at FWE. We're going to have a bus stop here in Manhattan. So if you're coming from Manhattan, I think that would be a great bet. Also from Queens, we'll be making a stopover in Queens. Again, check www.fwewrestling.com for more information and how you get your tickets for that as well.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Pleasure talking to you, and stay tuned. We've got a lot coming up for you.